Hello, welcome back. I hope you're keeping well in these crazy times. Today we are going to practice our sun salutations and moon salutations. It's been a wee while since we've touched in these in class, so I thought it's about time we dusted them off and re-engaged with them a wee bit. Please note, anybody that's watching this, I am not a medical practitioner. You're practicing at your own risk. Please listen to your body, rest when you need to, and just be aware of what you're doing. Engage with the movements rather than doing them mindlessly. But yes, you're doing all this at your own risk. So we're going to start seated. You can sit with your legs crossed. You can sit with your feet together. However is comfortable for you. You can sit with one foot in front of the other. Resting your hands lightly on your knees, we're going to start with a nice grind, nice circles, and I want you to generate this movement from your pelvis, from your hips. We're warming up our lower spine, warming up the hips, and getting a wee fire going. If you would like to work with your breath, you can breathe in as you come forward and breathe out as you come back. When you come back, you're rolling all the way onto the back of your bum, so all the way onto your bum, allowing your pelvis to tuck under. And your gaze is soft, your neck isn't tucked or strained, you're just gazing in front of you, allowing ease in your neck. So really allow yourself to roll all the way back on your bum. And again, making sure you're generating that movement in your lower back. It might be a very small movement if your back is tight or stiff. Moving slowly will allow your lower back to warm up. And gently allow a wee bit more movement to enter. The next time you come back, you're changing direction. If possible, I would like you to breathe through your nose during your practice. Allowing your belly to fill. So keeping it slightly soft. And coming back to center, sitting up nice and tall. Moving forwards and backwards. Again, generating that movement with your pelvis. You might like to keep your hands on your hips for that extra bit of help. Before we start, let's change the cross of our legs. So again, this can help with your proprioception, help with your body awareness. Hands on your hips, so you're tilting your pelvis forward as you come forward. Nice wave up your spine, and then tucking under as if somebody has a string at the back of your belly button, drawing you back all the way back on your bum. And then continuing moving forward. And then tucking under. You're moving slowly, we're still warming up. We're allowing our body to become aware of what we're doing, easing in. Better for your body if you do. And coming back up to sitting. Pretty nose. For a wee bit of a twist. So right hand up. I'm not mirroring yours, so you're putting your right hand up. Breath in as you reach up nice and tall. Breath out as you rotate, placing your right hand on your left knee and your left hand is gently placed on the floor behind you. You're looking out over that left shoulder. Continuing to look over the left shoulder. In breath back to center, reaching up, and you're going to gently fold forward. You might only get to here. You might come all the way down to the floor. Everybody is different. And coming back up, changing the cross of our legs again. Reaching up with your left, really reaching up, lengthening that side body. Breath in, and on your breath out, you're rotating to your right, placing your left hand on your right knee and your right hand behind you, looking over your right shoulder. Try not to create tension in your neck. You're not really straining, you're just looking over your left shoulder. Continuing to breathe, sitting up nice and tall, so try not to relax back. We're aiming to not end up like this. You're sitting up nice and tall and you're rotating. So nice, flat back. And then in breath back to center. Now, everybody, I'll go sideways so we can see. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to gently start rocking our knees from one side to the other. Your feet are about hip width apart. And you're just rolling from one side to the other. Now see if you can do that without any hands on the ground. You'll notice your hands act as a nice counterweight as they swing from side to side. You're likely moving forward on your mat as well. Now can you sweep your legs from side to side? We're getting our whole body moving now. Rolling around on our bum. Feeling a wee bit silly. It's all good. Having a bit of a smile. And gently, we're going to try, if your knees are okay, if you have problems with your knees, just test it out, see how you go. You can also place a pause, put a blanket down for your knees. But we're going to come up onto our knees. You can use a hand if you need to. Try not to collapse onto your hand. It's only there as a bit of a prop. This is great for, again, we're back into warming our hips up as you come forward, pushing your hips forward. Up, push those hips forward, engage in your bum. And we'll do one more to the right. And then one more to the left. Make sure you're even, we don't want you walking in circles. Lovely. Now, coming to standing. See if you can come to standing without your hands. Use your hands if you need to. Have common sense, don't fall over. But place one foot on the ground, pressing into that foot. And just come to standing. Coming to the front of your mat, feet about hip width apart. We're going to ground down into our Tadasana. This is a lovely one to come to if you're standing a lot. This is a nice wee reminder of how you should stand and how it's good for your body, things like that. So, feet, they're about hip width apart, not the outside of your hips, but under your hip bones, okay? And we'll rock forward and back and forward and back. And notice how your weight shifts. Your toes clench as you come forward and you're lifting your toes as you come back, and your weights in your heels. I want you to find that nice center point where you've got weight evenly distributed front and back. And then we're going to sway from side to side. Again, notice how your hips move to compensate. And you notice the weight coming to the outside edge of each foot. And again, coming to that center point. So you have weight evenly distributed from side to side. With our knees still softly bent, we're just going to press into our feet and our hips. We're going to stick our bum out, really exaggerate, and then tucking under, really exaggerating so everything clenches. And then sticking your bum out again, and then tucking under, really exaggerate those movements. And I want you to find that nice balance where you have a bit of engagement, not too tight, pressing into your feet. Nana says hello, pressing into your feet as you straighten your legs, engaging into your inner thighs, into your bum a wee bit, into your tummy. So you have a wee bit of a tuck, but it's not so intense that everything's clenched. Bit of a tuck. And let's roll our shoulders. Really trying to open up our shoulders. We sit so hunched all of the time. Opening up, draw your shoulder blades together and down. You're rotating and rolling your arms open so your palms face forward. And then coming to rest, palms facing forward, shoulders are down. Yes, shoulder blades drawing down, gentle tuck in your tummy. And then as if somebody has a thread coming out of the top of your head, you're lengthening up, getting that bit of space in your spine, allowing you to stand nice and tall. And we're going to take a few slow breaths. If at any point you need to pause in your sun salutations or moon salutations, Tadasana is a nice one to pause in, as is child's pose. So do feel free to pause when you need to. Lovely. Just one more breath. Breath in. Making sure you're breathing into your tummy and not into the top of your chest. If it helps, you can place your hands on your belly. The more we're holding on lower down, you should still be able to feel a bit of movement in your tummy. If we breathe into it, the top of our chest, that's more anxiety inducing. So if you're panicking, your chest, you're breathing here a lot. So try and breathe into your tummy. Lovely. So let's get into a nice slow sun salutation to start, and then we'll warm in. Breath in, bringing our hands up, reaching up, and then we're going to sway. So press into your left foot as you lengthen up your left side, reaching up, 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 and then gently over. So you're not just dumping from side to side. You press into your left foot to reach up, and then gently over. And then press into your right foot to come back to center, reaching up with that right hand, and then gently over. And again back to center, breath in. And again pressing into your left foot as you lengthen up and over. Still keeping that wee bit of length in your right side body. Right foot come back to center. And then reaching up and gently over with your right. And left foot pressing in to bring you back to center, reaching up. And on your out breath, you're gently folding forward, big generous bend in your knees as you fold forward. And have a gentle sway from side to side, really ragdolling down, letting everything go. And you can gently bounce from side to side, little bounces. This can help release your lower back. Or have a sway, whatever works for you today. Coming back to center, rooting into your right foot, giving all your weight to your right foot, peel your left foot off the floor, stepping back, lowering your left knee, hands to the inside of your right foot, and we're moving in circles. So allowing your knee to roll out and your foot to roll open. You can move your hands around as you move. You're just warming up our joints and everything, our bit of mobility, reversing your circles. Really feel what's going on in your body. And then framing your foot, we're moving forward and back. And as you come back, you're peeling your foot off the floor. Forward and back. Nice continuous flowy movement. Forward and back once more. And then hands to the inside of your foot as you step that right foot back. And we're coming into our table. My knees are 2 fists apart. Hands under shoulders, nice big spread fingers. And we'll go into our cat-cow. So on your out breath, you're tucking your pelvis under, working your way up your spine, one vertebrae at a time, and allowing your head to drop. It's the last thing. And then on your in-breath, reversing that movement, starting with your pelvis, as you allow everything to drop. As you come up, your head is the last thing up. So generating that movement from your pelvis as you breathe out, working with your breath. And your head's the last thing. And again, reversing as you breathe in, allowing your tummy to fill. And your head's the last thing up.
And now let's have a wee bit of free movement. So you can roll around, do some nice barrel rolls, I like to call them. I don't know if that's what they should be called. You can come back, reaching one hand to the side, coming forward, and then reaching the other hand. So my right is going to my left, and then I come back almost into a child's pose. So I'm really lengthening the side body, and then I come back to center. You can just have a nice sway from side to side, turning your hands out. This is quite nice for your shoulders. Or you can really think about stretching into your shoulders, really arching into them, loosening them up. Do whatever you need. You might have a bit of a stuck bit today that you need to loosen out. You might want to come into an active child's pose, so you can come back with your hands are tented, so only your fingertips are on the ground. Arms are off the ground, and you release down. This is lovely for up around your shoulder blades to help them release. As your head comes down, it really lengthens into that area. Coming back to our table, we're going to lower ourselves into our first cobra of today. So, still being kind to ourselves. It is Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and the theme is kind, so we are being kind to ourselves. So, come onto your forearms, they're in front of your body, and we're just going to scoot your knees back a bit, and then gently lower all the way down. So, keep saying so a lot. Anyway, pressing your pelvis into the floor. You're using that movement to gently, like it's a nice rebound effect. Press your pelvis into the floor, feel your bottom engage and into your lower tummy, and use that to bring you into a nice low cobra. And we're going to have a sway here as well. Lovely for the digestive system. Nice to have a bit of a roll around. And then coming back to center, everybody taking your hands off. Give me some jazz hands. Give me a wave. Lovely. Forearms on the floor, toes curled under. Lift with your bottom first. Okay, if nothing else, always try this. Always lift with your bottom first. That will help strengthen those lower tummy muscles, and it will prevent future injuries in your lower back and in your shoulders and all sorts of things. So, toes curled under, lift your butt first, and we're reversing back into our table, and we're bringing our left foot forward this time. Hands to the inside of your left foot, rolling around in those circles. So allow your foot to open out and allow it to roll in. Again, you can move your hands if you need to, if you like to, changing the direction of your circles. How's your breath? Is your jaw clenched? Framing that foot, moving forward and back, peeling your toes off the floor. This lengthens into your hamstrings. Coming forward and back, lengthening into your hamstrings, and once more forward and back. All the way forward, tucking your back toes under, lift that back knee, step to the front of your mat. However you get to the front of the mat, we're now there, still bent over. And to come to standing, bending our knees, and we're tucking our tailbone down. So we're dropping our bum and allowing ourselves to roll up one little bit at a time. We're not aiming to hinge at the hips. It's fine if you're really strong, but just be aware that it can cause some problems. So we're being kind to ourselves. We talked about this. Always have a nice big bend, as if you've got a big tail that's dropping down, and using that as a lever to bring you all the way up. Now we have warmed up. Let's do that again. Breath in. On your out breath, folding forward, big bend in your knees, pouring yourself over, and we're going to halfway lift. So on your in breath, bringing our hands to our thighs, we're tucking into our belly, lengthening our neck and flattening our back. This is quite nice to create some space in your back as well. And breathing out as we fold forward once more. Weight into our right foot, stepping back with our left, dropping that left knee into a low lunge. So pressing your weight into your front foot, sweeping your hands back. So it's a nice wave, and we're coming into our low lunge. You notice on your in-breath, sweep your hands back, and they're just continuing that movement up. So again, we're not hinging, we're riding nice waves. Your knee should be over your ankle. Is your knee collapsing in? So you want to think about drawing it out. You should be able to see your big toes. And let's think about our hips. So draw that left hip forward slightly. So we're evening our hips side to side. And then up and down. So squaring off our hips, you'll notice that's stronger into your bum, into your thigh, a bit more engagement. And you'll feel it in your left as well, into your hip. So we're reaching up. Really reaching up, lengthening up, making sure you're still thinking about your hips, drawing in your lower tummy, and you're still breathing. Breath in, on your breath out, folding forward, hands to the floor, bringing your right knee back, and we're going to lower down into our cobra. So you can come back, so you can go onto your forearms and scooch your knees back, or we can come into our modified plank. So our hands are in front of our shoulders, and then we're bringing our weight over our hands, tucking in to our lower belly. So you notice my bum sticks out, and then I'm engaging into my bum, into my lower tummy. So length, as if you're lengthening that back. It's that nice action with your pelvis, with your tummy. If you like, you can curl your toes under to help strengthen it slightly. So tucking in, our weight is forward, and we're gently lowering all the way down to the floor. So you're aiming to bring your elbows back as you lower down. Pressing your pelvis into the floor, up into your cobra. If you have lower back issues, you stay here. You will notice there is some engagement in your bum. Make sure it's not really, really strong. There should be some, but it doesn't have to be super strong. It may work better for you, possibly. Try it, see what feels better. I find it creates tension in my lower back if I clench too much with my bum. I need to always make sure I'm engaging into my tummy, and that's helping to keep me up. So there is engagement in my bum, but most of the work is in my tummy at the minute. I'm pressing into my wee toes, so I'm engaging into my legs. Into your low cobra. So hands off, and make sure you think about drawing your shoulders together, pressing your feet into the floor, and this is where you stay if you've nice, or if you have lower back issues, throughout the practice. Lovely. Everybody lowering down, curl your toes under, lift with your bum first, reversing back into our first downward dog. Walking your hands back, weight is back over your heels, and you're uncurling into your downward dog. Everybody stay in a downward dog with bent knees, please. Let's warm into it, and we're going to walk our dog, which means just alternating bending of knees as you lift and lower your heels towards the floor. I want you to think about keeping your weight back, so you're drawing your shoulder blades together. You have nice big sunflower hands, and I like to think I'm twisting my hands slightly, so I'm almost like I'm unscrewing lids on the floor. So you're pressing into your hands. If you have wrist issues, you can fold your mat to help help raise your wrists. You can also, it depends on what feels comfortable for you. You can try pressing into your hands, so really press into your fingers, or you can try pressing into your fingertips. It all depends on what your issue is. So try it out, see what feels better for you. Everybody, I'm sure we've all been here for a wee minute. Lowering down to your knees, bringing your left foot forward, pressing your weight into that left foot as you sweep your hands back, and into your low lunge. Knee over ankle, hips Check them front to back, so you're drawing your left hip back, right hip forward, and up and down. Engage into your tummy, so you're stacking yourself over your hips, and you're reaching up. Try to soften your shoulders so they shouldn't be up tense around your ears. The more we're reaching up, it's not with tension, you're not straining. It's more about lengthening that side body. Engaging into your lower tummy, but still allowing some room for breath. All of the things. On your out breath, folding forward, hands to the floor, tuck your toes under, lift your right knee, step to the front of your mat, and we're going to uncurl. So big bend in your knees, uncurling all of the way up to standing. Nice breath in, and hands to center. So we've done our nice sun salutes to warm up, and let's do our moon salutes. So our feet are about hip width apart still. Breath in, bringing our hands up. Breath out as we give our weight into our right foot, stepping back with our left. Our feet are facing forward to start, bringing our hands out into a nice star. For this, you're drawing that tummy in, engagement into your butt, hands are out, breath in. On your out breath, coming into our goddess. So our goddess, we pivot our heels in, so our feet are on a nice angle, toes pointing towards the corners of our mat. Arms, our upper arms are in line with our shoulders, drawing our shoulder blades together. So engaging into that lower tummy still, feel that tilt. So I'm in my goddess squat, my bum's sticking out. I'm drawing that in. You might need to adjust your feet. That's perfectly okay. All of our bodies are a bit different. You don't have to have your legs all the way out. Your knees should be tracking over your toes. Engaging into your bum, so a nice flat back. Shoulder blades are drawing together. Arms are in line with our shoulders. And that's our goddess. Into our star as we pivot. So pivoting, right foot or your left foot to face the back edge of your mat, pivoting your right foot, slight angle, arms are in line with our shoulders, and we're coming into our triangle. So you're reaching forward and then gently tipping over. I want you to think about as if you're in between two panes of glass. So if I come more side on, if I want to come all the way down, you notice my bum sticks all the way out and my hips are twisted. If I come up a bit, I can engage into my lower tummy, tuck my tailbone under, and this is probably a much better triangle for my body. Okay? In time, we'll all eventually get down here. It might be a case of you just need to warm up a bit more or whatever, but I want you to think as if you're in between two panes of glass. You can rest that hand lightly on your lower leg, don't collapse into it, so you're drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Reaching up, tucking into your tailbone, so always think about engaging into that lower tummy. Then we're pivoting to face our left foot. Step your right foot a bit closer into our pyramid. You see pictures of pyramid like this, but with a perfectly flat back. So we want to think about nice flat back. We're lengthening into our hamstrings. So both feet are facing the same direction. You can widen your stance slightly to help with your balance. Engaging into our lower tummy, making sure that knee isn't locked. And we're coming over. You notice I'm only coming about halfway. This is where I can have a nice flat back, and I'm feeling a lot of lengthening happening into my hamstring. So listen to your body. Maybe you've got more movement and you can come over with a nice flat back. But maybe don't. You don't need to go to that point every time. Being kind to ourselves, remember? My hips are square, nice flat back. And then I'm folding forward, bending that front knee, so your left knee, lowering my right knee to the floor into our crescent lunge, our low lunge. And then hands to the inside of your left foot, pivoting your left foot, pivoting your right. So we're coming into our low side squat. Your side squat might be up here. might be here. But you're aiming to keep your weight over your left. You might have the flexibility where you can get your left heel down. I can't, I'm on my toes. Draw into that tummy, don't just collapse over like I was a second ago. Draw into that tummy so you're sitting up. And we're going to move onto our right side, trying to keep as low as we can with our squat. Onto our right, into a nice side squat. Pivoting round into our low lunge again. And then you can refold, stepping your left foot forward into our pyramid. So again, thinking about that, drawing out of the tummy, nice flat back. Stepping back with your left into your triangle, thinking about drawing into your lower tummy again, tilting that pelvis, working with where your body is at. You're not a picture. Work with your body. And then nice in-breath to draw you up into your star, into your goddess. Remember, tuck that tummy every time. And then step back to the front of your mat. Now I'm going to change sides because we're going to do that on the right. And hopefully I don't get confused. We'll do it once more slowly on the right side. Breath in, bringing our hands up. Breath out as you step back with your right foot into our goddess. Are you engaging in your tummy? Are your knees over your toes? Drawing your shoulder blades together, you're aiming for a nice flat back. Continuing to breathe into your star. Pivoting your right foot to face the short edge of your mat. And we're going to reach with our right hand as we come over into our triangle. You might notice your triangles are different on each side. That's perfectly normal. Draw that tummy in, really thinking about drawing that lower tummy in. Gauge into your perineum. So clenching in and up into your bum. Continuing to breathe. Getting that mula bandha going. And then turning to face your right foot, stepping your left foot forward slightly into a nice pyramid. Flat back, tummy's drawing in. And then coming all the way down into our low lunge, you're bringing that left foot back, sweeping our hands back into our low lunge. And on your out breath, hands to the inside of your right foot, pivoting around into your side squat. I like to think of this as my ninja squat personally. It's quite fun. So, nice side squat. You can think about flexing your left foot if you like, or you can keep your left foot on the floor. I prefer mine up. It's more comfortable for me. Pivoting onto our left side. Turning around into your low lunge. Breath in as we sweep our hands up. Breath out. Hands returning to the floor. Curl your back toes under, stepping up into your pyramid. Nice flat back, engage into your tummy. And then stepping that left foot back slightly. It's on about a 90 degree, 45 degree angle into our triangle. So your left heel should be in line with your right arch. Draw those shoulder blades together, aiming to open up your chest. Tuck your tailbone, engage into your lower tummy. And then as if somebody has you by the right hand, drawing you up into your star, both feet facing forward, and then sinking down into your goddess, pivoting your heels in, toes out, knees over toes, whoop, and engage into your lower tummy, drawing your shoulder blades together into your goddess. Nice wide squat. And then stepping back to the front of your mat. Now I'm going to stay at this end, so you will see the back of me at points. But we're going to gently flow through it. If you need to pause, pause. Okay? Work with where you're at. Alright, people? I'm trusting you with yourselves. Right? Breath in, our hips, our feet are about hip width apart. Breath in. Breath out, stepping back with your left into your goddess squat. tucking your tummy under. Breath in into your star. Breath out, pivot. Your right foot and your left foot faces the back and into your triangle. So if somebody has you by the left hand, pulling you forward and then gently tipping over. Engage into your lower tummy, thinking about tilting your pelvis. Breath in, and on your out breath, turning to face your left foot, stepping your right foot forward into your pyramid. Gently folding forward, step your right foot back, knee to the floor, into your crescent lunge. Breath in, and on your out breath, hands to the inside of your left foot, into your side squat. You can, if you would like to, try bringing your hands together into prayer position, namaste, and we're going to move over to the right. Hands to the floor as you pivot, turning into your low lunge. On your out breath, folding forward, tuck your toes under, stepping into your pyramid. Nice flat back, engage into that tummy. Making sure your toes aren't clenched. Step your left foot back slightly, changing the angle so the toes are more to 45 degrees, and into your triangle. Tucking your tummy, tilting your pelvis. Keep on going, you've got this. And then as if somebody has you with the left hand, drawing you up into your star. Pivot your heels in as you sink down into your goddess, really drawing your lower tummy in, tilting that pelvis, shoulder blades drawing together. Keep on breathing, unclench your jaw. Coming up and coming to the front of your mat. Repeating that on your right side. Breath in. On your out breath, stepping back with your right. Coming into your goddess, so drawing your tummy in, shoulder blades are drawing together. Into your star, pivoting, right foot faces the back, left foot pivots in, reaching forward with that right hand, and then into your triangle, trying to make sure your right knee isn't completely locked. So you're engaging some muscles, tucking your pelvis into your lower tummy. On your out breath, turning to face that right foot, stepping your left foot forward slightly into your pyramid. Breath in, and on your breath out, hands to the floor, lowering that left knee into your crescent lunge. On your breath out, hands to the inside of your right foot, turning to pivot into your side squat. You can bring your hands together and move on to the left side. Find your drishti, find your focus. Hands to the floor, turning to pivot into your low lunge. My low lunge looks slightly funny when I bring my hands up so I don't hit the wall, so just bear that in mind. Breath out as you bring your hands down, curl your right toes under, stepping into your pyramid. Nice flat back. And on your out breath, step your right foot back slightly into your star, and then sinking into your goddess. Tucking that pelvis, drawing your shoulder blades together. Knees are tracking over toes. Nice flat back. Back into your star, and coming to stand at the front of your mat. Now we're going to do that with a few wee additions. There's a surprise, huh? So let's go. Breath in, breath out. Remember, engage into that Mula Bandha. Think about drawing in and up. Breath out as we step back with our left into our goddess. Drawing our shoulder blades together. Tilt that pelvis. Really, if you need to, put your hands on your hips and tilt your pelvis. So your tailbone tucks under. You'll notice your lower back flattening. Shoulder blades are drawing together, and we're going to just pulse here. And I'm going to count to a slow 10. So we've got 10, 9, mini pulses, 8, 7, 6, 5, we got this, 4, come on, 3, almost, 2, and 1. And into your star for a wee rest. Pivoting your feet. So left foot pivots towards the back edge. Right foot pivots, reaching that right. You notice my hips do that movement. Should have said that at the start, but whatever. Hips tilt slightly to allow that movement. So as if somebody has you by the left hand, reaching forward and coming into your triangle, wherever that is. Tuck into your lower back, into your tummy. Try to stack your shoulders. Keep on breathing. We're just going to stay here for a second. Making sure your toes aren't clenched. And as if you're between two panes of glass, so you're drawing those shoulder blades together to really think about opening that chest up. Engage into that lower tummy, come on. And on your out breath, turning to face that left foot. Step your right foot forward into your pyramid. Making sure your hips are square, so rather than being tilted, square those hips into your lower tummy. This is lovely lengthening for your hamstrings up the back of your leg. Keep on breathing. This is nice to lengthen the back of your body. Bending that front knee, step that right foot back, lowering right knee to the floor. And we're coming up into our crescent lunge. What are your hips doing? Are they square? What can you adjust? On your out breath, bringing your hands to the inside of your left foot, pivoting into your low squat. And we're going to, you can bring your hands together, you can keep them on the floor, whatever works for you. Find your focus point. In my case, one focus point would be good. And we're going to move on to our right side. And then we're going to move back again, back to the left, keeping as low as you can. Draw that tummy in, root into the floor. Once more, back to the right. Good to help strengthen those hips, pivoting round into your crescent lunge. Really reaching up. You can have a slight back bend if you're nice and warm. So this is more about lengthening up and back slightly. Don't just crank back. So your hips are staying nice and stable, lengthening up and then back. You'll notice more length in that left front hip. On your out breath, hands to the floor, tuck your left toes under, stepping into your pyramid. Remember, you can widen your stance slightly to make it more stable. Drawing that tummy in, lengthening that nice flat back, squaring your hips. Nice lengthening happening in your right hamstring. Stepping that right foot back slightly, so your right heel is in line with your left foot in your left arch, into your triangle. Draw that lower tummy in, tilt that pelvis. Shoulders are stacked. Draw your shoulder blades together. Keep on going, keep breathing. My knee's a wee bit too locked, so make sure you're not just completely collapsing into that knee. Pay attention. And then as if somebody has you by the left hand, drawing you up into your star, sinking down into our goddess. And guess what? We're going to pulse again. I know, can you believe it? So, knees are tracking over our toes, tucking into your pelvis. Arms are drawing together, so shoulder blades are drawn together, arms are in line with our shoulders. And we're going to pulse, and I'm going to count down from 10 again. So we've got 10, little micro pulse, come on. 9, draw your lower tummy in. 8, 7, got this, come on. 6, What's your jaw doing? 5, 4, 3, draw those shoulder blades together, 2, almost there, 1, and up into your star. Bring your hands together, step to the front of your mat. And I'm going to go to the other end to do our other side. Give your legs a wee bit of a shimmy, adjust if you need to. You can pause and go get a drink of water if you would like as well. Now, last time, got this. Breath in. On your out breath, stepping back with your right foot into our goddess. If your arms get tired, you can keep your hands on your thighs, trying to make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. If you've still got some more, you can have your arms in line with your shoulders. Draw that tummy in. How low can you sink in your goddess while still keeping good form? Don't just collapse everything. So draw those knees out, tuck that tailbone, sink a wee bit lower. We're just going to pause here for a moment. You may start to notice a burning sensation in your thighs and your bum. I most definitely do. But it's going to be okay. We're helping to strengthen our body, keeping it healthy, keeping a wee fire going. Lovely. Once more, breath in. On your out breath, into your star. Well done. Pivot. Toes to face the back edge. Pivot your left heel. So right heel in line with back our left arch. And then as if somebody has us by the right hand, bringing us forward and over into our triangle. Tuck into the tummy, tuck your tailbone, and as if you're between two panes of glass, draw your shoulder blades together. Well done. Keep on breathing. And on your out breath, turning to pivot over your right foot, step your, into a pyramid, Pivot over your right foot, step your left foot in, tuck into your lower tummy, nice flat back, nice square hips, making sure you're not clenching your toes or your jaw. And on your out breath, stepping back and into our crescent lunge. What are your hips doing? You can take a nice back bend if that's available to you. Make sure you're not dumping into your lower back. It's more about raising our chest up, so lengthening up that front body towards the ceiling. And on your out breath, folding forward, hands to the inside of your right foot, pivoting into your low squat. Yes, categories. You can bring your hands together, bringing them to the floor. We're going to come into a wide forward fold. So as we pivot over onto our left, we're straightening our right leg and our left leg, making sure they're not locking back. And your wide lunge or your wide forward fold might be here, or your hands may be further down your leg, but you're drawing into that tummy, nice flat back. Both feet are facing forward. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then we're allowing ourselves to soften and round into our forward fold. You can bring your hands to the floor or to our ankles. Allow your head to drop, softening down. And then bending our knees, bringing our weight over our left into our side squat. Ta-da! Pivoting around into our crescent lunge. Taking slight back bend if that's where you're at today. On your out breath, folding forward, curl your toes under, stepping into your pyramid. Nice long flat back. Stepping that right foot back so our right arch is in line with our left heel. And we're coming into our triangle, just uncurling. Remember to tuck into your lower tummy, tilt our pelvis to lengthen our back to create that space for this nice triangle. Shoulders away from ears. And then as if somebody has you by the right hand, coming up into our star, lowering down into our squat where we're just going to pause. It's going to be fine. Make sure your knees are over your toes. Drawing your lower tummy in. It's our last one. So how low can you make your squat while still keeping a good shape? We've got this. It's okay. Nice bit of yoga. We're strengthening our body. You can have a little bounce if you like. Got this. Slight burn going on. Muscles are working, getting a fire going in our muscles. Tuck into that tummy and straightening up into our star again and stepping back to the front of our mat. Well done. Very, very well done. Give your legs a wee bit of a shake. Now, I want to, if you need to, grab a wall. We're going to start with a lengthening of the quad at the front because we've just worked them nice and hard. This is a classic, everybody knows it. It's a nice one to keep practicing. I sometimes forget and then I do it and I'm like, oh, my quads are quite tight. So, lifting your right foot, catching it with your right hand, and we're just drawing our heel towards our bum, making sure you stand up nice and tall. There's no point doing it if you're kind of like this. So stand up tall, heel towards the bum. That might mean your heel's here, but you want to feel lengthening happening up the front of your quad. Also a good time to draw that tummy in, to strengthen. Draw your shoulder blades together. If I square off to the wall, it's maybe easier for me. Lowering that right foot down. And again, you can do this next to the wall, grab a chair, or you might be able to just hold with both hands. Nice way to practice your balance. Not done balancing this time. Slowing your breath. And releasing that foot gently. Giving yourself a nice shake. And we're going to have a lizard to help lengthen things as well. So breath in as we flow down, breath out, folding forward, stepping back with your left, lowering that left knee to the floor. Now if you have big books, please grab them, or blocks I should have said, but we have them now. So blocks or books or stack a few books, whatever works. Mine are on the left side of the mat. So I've brought my left knee back and I'm going to gently lower down. Now you can stay with your hands flat on the floor, and this is enough of a stretch. I can feel this in my inner right thigh and a wee bit into my groin. If you would like, you can use the blocks to lift yourself up slightly. So I can also feel this in my front of my left hip. Or you can lower your forearms onto your blocks. This helps to strengthen. So you might, if you're not feeling much when you're on your hands, and it's like, it's okay. If you would like it slightly stronger, you can lower onto the blocks. Or if you have that freedom of movement, you can lower all the way down to the floor. I'm currently on blocks. And now on my out breath, I'm just going to allow my leg to release to the side. So you notice my right foot peels off the floor and I'm allowing my right knee to release to the side. If this is not comfortable for you, don't do it. Another option is also to pivot your right foot out. So widen your stance, just pivoting your right foot out, making sure your knee is tracking over your right foot. This is also a nice way to get into that same stretch. I personally prefer peeling my right foot off. I'm drawing my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm slowing my breath to allow me to release my hips and soften. Slowing down. If at any point this gets too much, you can bring your foot in and reverse out of it. Do whatever is right for you. You might be perfectly happy here and you're feeling enough lengthening and stretch going on. But listen, try a wee bit, and if it doesn't work, reverse, okay? Slow your breath. Everybody, bringing our hands to our blocks or to the floor, rolling back onto our foot, bringing that right knee back, and we're coming back into our child's pose. So widening our knees and gently releasing to the floor. You can leave your hands out in front for a bit more of an active child's pose. Personally, at this point in my practice, my asana practice, I prefer to release. You can also bring your hands to either side of your body, softening your shoulders and allowing them to release to the floor. Yes, Nana. Is that right? Cat massively agrees. Everybody coming back up, hands to the floor, coming up, and we're going to do the same on the left side. So into your tabletop, bringing your left foot forward. Now it's a wider stance than a normal lunge, so widen, give yourself some room. And you can bring that right knee back, and we're bending into that left knee. Again, this is your start. You can have your hands on the floor or on the block. You can point your toes out to the side. You can gently lower down if you like. Release that right leg. You might notice you've more space on one side than the other. So you may be able to lower all the way down to your forearms on one side. I have more space on one side than the other. You're aiming to keep that right leg in line with your hips, so it's not splaying out to the side. That right leg is still in line. Shoulders are releasing, trying not to create more tension. Yes, Nana. A very vocal cat. What's going on, Nana? What's happening? Slowing your breath. And everybody walking onto your hands, bringing that knee in and coming back into your child's pose. Toes together, knees out, softening down. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always, if you have a bolster, release onto a bolster or stack your blocks like I'm doing. Or you can come onto your back and hug your knees. I'm aware not everybody is comfortable in child's pose, so do what's comfortable for you. You're aiming to release your bum towards the floor, if that helps. Everybody coming back up. And we're going to get ready for a short shavasana. We'll just have a wee bit of a twist before we completely finish. We've done a lot of opening of our hips again and lengthening back into those again. So into our staff pose. So sitting up nice and tall. Moving your bum out of the way if you need to. Yes. Sitting up nice and tall into our staff pose. Toes are flexed towards us. Making sure you're not locking your knees. You notice if you lock your knees, your heels will often come off the floor. So, sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to gently walk our hands forward a wee bit, aiming to keep a nice flat back. This is going to lengthen up the backs of our legs. Into those hamstrings again. Try not to just collapse over. So you're generating that movement from your pelvis again. And setting up again, and we're bringing right foot in towards our groin. Left foot still flexed. Turn over your left foot and gently folding forward. Again, trying to keep your back nice and flat. Walking our hands a wee bit forward. And then we're rounding. Should feel nice bit of lengthening happening in the back of your leg. And straightening again. Straightening your back. Now you have to sit up nice and tall, and we're swapping sides. So left foot into your groin. Turning over your right leg. So turning your torso over your right. Nice flat back. Creeping our hands forward. We're not rounding just yet. So flex those toes towards your foot. That helps get more lengthening happening. And really generating that tilt from your pelvis. So that will help lengthen rather than just doing this. Generate the tilt from your pelvis. So it strengthens the lengthening. Trying to draw in and up. And then slowly we're going to soften just for a moment. And sitting up nice and tall. Now, get yourself whatever you need for your Shavasana. I have my little eye cushion ready. I'm not personally going to do one until after I finish recording, but you can have your cushion ready. Bolster under your knees is also quite nice if you've lower back issues. You could take a rolled up blanket or a thick towel, something like that. Pop it under your knees. And we're going to slow down and finish our asana practice for today. So closing your eyes, slowing your breath. Feel that nice cool breath as you breathe in, feeling your tummy fill and expand. And your warm breath as you breathe out, feeling your tummy soften and relax. And for a moment we are going to find one thing to focus on. That might be your breath, but it could be a sensation. So it might be touching your thumb and forefinger together. It could be the sensation of your tummy rising and falling. Your attention might wander, but I want you to continue to bring your focus back to that sensation. It is easy to start making to-do lists or thinking about the rest of your day. But again, we're bringing our focus back each time. It's okay if the brain wanders. That is perfectly normal behavior.
But each time we notice that it wanders, we bring our attention back to our point of focus, that sensation that we're paying attention to. We're calming our mind and slowing down. If you notice a sound, you can label that as a sound and then bring your attention back to the sensation. If you start replaying conversations, making to-do lists, you can label that activity and then bring your attention back to our focused sensation. And each time you do this, you're strengthening your attention slightly. And then releasing your attention, allowing your mind to relax. Softening your shoulders, releasing your hips into the floor, softening your legs and your arms, your feet, your toes, your hands and your fingers. Noticing any sounds outside of the room. Noticing any sounds inside of the room. And noticing any sounds inside of your body. Gently releasing them all. And just having a few moments of quiet to allow your asana practice to absorb into your body. Bringing your attention back to your breath, back to your body. Keeping your eyes closed, gently rolling onto whichever side is most comfortable for you. coming up to sitting. Normally we would rub our hands together and place them over our eyes. You can just shield your eyes slightly from the light so your hands are still away from your face, and gently flutter your eyes open. Nice breath in, and on your out breath shaking it all out, and breath in and shaking it all out again, and a lovely breath in and shaking it all the way out. Thank you very much for taking the time to practice with me today. I hope you're keeping well and safe. I do miss teaching my classes, something desperate. So I'm thinking of you all, and thank you for all the emails I got and the messages. Very much appreciated. And I will aim to see you soon once we're allowed. And if not, there will be another video in a few weeks. I will talk to you soon. Bye.